So quiet. This is your first class of the semester.
Yeah.
This is your first time back on campus in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else have a lot of anxiety this morning or over the past weekend? No. Okay.
I have.
Not been okay with coming back to school after a year and a half. Right. Some number of seconds to go. That's me. All right. So everybody, welcome aboard. That little soon-to-be 3-year-old, her name's Roxy. She actually has blue eyes, but they look black somehow out there. She has an older brother named Ziggy, who's 5, just started kindergarten. Only got 2 COVID notifications in the first week. So it's going good. All right, so welcome to GEOG 215. So hopefully everybody's in the right course. That's 1 credit. You guys are Monday section. Sounding correct?
Yes.
All right, so today what we're going to do is just go through the syllabus. So this is a 50-minute class for you once a week. So I don't know how many are supposed to be here, but we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15. Seems like a pretty good number. Are you guys, has anybody not used Canvas before, our learning management system? So you've already looked for some kind of thing. So everything in this course is going to be inside of here. So all the homework assignments, all the lectures, all the readings, everything like that. So who am I? I'm Dan Goldberg. My office is 2 doors over, the last one at the end of the hall. So if you need anything, that's where I am. This is a 1 credit class, so there's no lab. So you're only going to be here 1 day a week. This is a C course, which is a communications course, which means you have to do a certain amount of writing and a certain amount of speaking. So for you to graduate, you have to take 2 of those, either W or C. And I assume that you're all either geography or GIS or university studies under geography. Is that right? So this is your first C course probably. If you're in GIS, your second one is probably going to be 476, the practicum, when you're like a senior. So since this is a C course, there's very specific rules that the university has created to ensure that you are able to communicate when you graduate. So in this course, since it's a 1 credit course, you're required to speak for 15 minutes and you're required to write 2,000 words. Anybody know how many pages 2,000 words is? 4. So there's 500 words on a single spaced page. So just to get this out of the way, this should be your easiest class of the semester. All right. There are little activities that you're going to do, and we'll see some examples of them. They should take you like 5 minutes a piece. So there's no reason that you shouldn't get an A in here, unless you like don't do some of the things. So let's talk about what this course is. Office hours. So Monday, Wednesday, I'm going to have office hours right after this class. So if you need anything, feel free to come by or stop by. And I'll also have them on Zoom. So I'm just going to be like hanging out in my office on Zoom. So if you, for whatever reason, would like to speak via Zoom instead of via person, then you can just click on that link in the syllabus here and it'll take you there. So the unofficial title of this class is the How Do I Get a Job class. So what we're going to focus on for the whole year are things to put you in a good position to be able to get a good paying job when you graduate. So we are going to learn about career options, strategies and skills in terms of how to get a job, how to interview, how to write a resume, how to write a cover letter, how to interact with and find potential employers. It's very selfishly what we are looking for out of you, out of this class, is for you to have the best resume possible when you graduate. So that way you get really good jobs, make a lot of money, and donate back to Texas A&M Department of Geography. So this room is not named, right? So for the small fee of some number of tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can have your name outside of this classroom. What else we're going to learn about? What are high impact learning experiences, internships, why they're important? Yep.
Is there a way to like cut the sound system in here? Because we can hear her lecturing next door to this speaker.
Okay. Yes. But I think I just don't heard.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard to focus.
Okay. This is the thing that happens here because this room and that room are connected to each other. So give me a sec. I gotta tell her to like not do whatever she's doing. Sorry.
I just thought she was speaking.
It's like, well, I'm like trying to listen to him, but I'm also like listening to her.
I thought it was that loud. I thought you had like another video.
I thought it was like someone was just talking on the Zoom call.
Yeah.
I was like, someone's like going in.
It's really talking. Yeah.
How about now?
Can't hear it.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, you don't want to take two classes at the same time? You get double
It's a
credit.
little distracting.
You said this would be
I have
the
that class
easiest.
next, so.
I was so comfortable teaching from home. Like my office
So
is
you
set up
didn't have, you
perfectly.
didn't teach anything.
No, my father-in-law lives with us and he's currently has skin cancer, has had 2 strokes, 3 heart attacks. So we got permission to like not be at school.
Is this echo done?
Yeah, it seems like it's working. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about that.
So I'm not loving coming back to campus. I don't know about you guys, but teaching from home was like magical. It's so good. All right, so if you're in this class, you're either geography or GIS major.
She's going off again.
She's speaking again. So did,
It's just quieter. Right.
what if I just turn the volume all the way down? Oh, wait, is it mute? How about now?
Oh my goodness.
I think
Okay,
she's
so-
doing it through her doors through the hall, but not in the speakers anymore. So
How about now?
Speakers now.
I think you
Speakers?
solved it
Yeah.
as far as the speakers go.
Oh, it's just loud voice?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
This wall is also made of like pieces of paper. I don't know.
This is a CSA 302
yes.
Yes.
or geography 205.
Yes.
Yes. Elevator wasn't working. It sent me to the 2nd floor.
Tricky. That was your first test.
I failed.
Okay. So right now we're just going through the syllabus basically. So at the end of this course, if I have done my job, you will be able to talk, or I should zoom in, right? So you guys can actually see. There we go. Here we go. You'll be able to talk about the types of jobs that are available in the geospatial industry. So I'm a GIS person, so most of the jobs and things that I know about are related to GIS. But with the help of colleagues, I've tried, if you're a geography major, all of this information will be useful as well. Just I'm not as well versed in the types of geography, straight up geography jobs that are out there. So if you need more geog info, I can ask my colleagues to help me update some of this material. All right, so what are the types of jobs that are out there? What are the types of skills you want to have on your resume in order to get one of those jobs? What is the process for either getting into graduate school if you wish to do that, or for moving through your career? And what is career planning and how is that going to help you? Let's see, the main outcome of this course is going to be a resume. Basically, it. So all semester we're going to be going over your resume and over your resume and over your resume. And I'm going to be a little bit harsh, but better you hear it from me and your classmates than for you to just never ever get a call back from an employer because your resume is such garbage. And then since this is a C course, we're going to develop effective communication skills through our 15 minutes of speaking and our 2,000 words of writing. So there is no book for this class. When we get down to this stuff, I have written you a book. Right now it's all in what's called GitHub, because Canvas is brand new this year. So I'm going to be migrating all of the content from GitHub over into Canvas. So you won't have to do anything outside of Canvas. Back. All right. All right. So no textbook, but there is a lot of, I gotta say, most beautiful words in a row in English that you've ever read. You're welcome. So this course grading is normal. There's no minuses or pluses at text A&M, so you're gonna get an A or a B or a C or a D, maybe an E, hopefully not an F. Okay, so when is everything due? So there's 3 sections of this class. Your section, everything will be due before the next week's class. As I mentioned before, these are very, very, very simple assignments. It's like Google search a job and then put the link to that job and say why you think you would want that job. This should take you like no more than 5 minutes. The reason I ask that is so I can review them before class and then get a sense of what kind of career trajectories you guys are interested in. So we can hopefully tailor the course to talk about things that will be most impactful for you. So what are the types of assignments? So there is class participation, 5%. That's less than 10%, which means I don't have to define what that is. Basically, did you come to class? Do I know your name? All that stuff. Then you will have 10%, which are these little assignments that I was talking about before each class. So there's 14.5 weeks. So you'll have like 12 or 13 of those little basically surveys to fill out. And then the biggest part of the class is your C class requirements. So those are your 15 minutes of speaking and your 2,000 words of writing. So of that 85%, here's what everything is worth. So you're going to speak 3 times for 5 minutes. There's like 20 people in here, right? So if we had you speak in class for 5 minutes, that'd be 100 minutes, which is twice the length of this class. So the speaking that you're going to do is record yourself saying things, and then you're going to post that video to a place, either YouTube or Canvas or whatever. And then I'll review that. Sometimes your colleagues will review it in a group. So that's how the speaking is going to work. The writing is you're going to write your resume twice. You're going to write a cover letter. So right there, we're at 1,500 words. So there is not a ton of work in this class. This should be your easiest class of the semester. Hopefully it's one of your more valuable classes. And then each of those surveys that you fill out have words on them, so I count those words. And some of them you're going to do by yourself, some of them you're going to do with a partner or in a group. So, you guys frightened yet? No? Okay. All right. So if you have a reason that you need to hand something in late, you can hand it in up to 2 days late. with no penalty whatsoever. If you turn it in like super duper late, you're still gonna get half credit, right? So as long as you get it in before the semester ends, you could potentially still get half of the credit for it. So the only reason that people ever get like a B in here is because they just didn't do something. Like, it will take you less than 5 minutes to do each of the activities. So I kind of don't have sympathy if you don't have 5 minutes to do it. Okay, so we're going to talk about. So in this class, we're going to be talking about the following list of topics. So each of these is a link, which will take you to the content for that. So if we look at this one, there's words, lots and lots and lots of words. So I wrote these and they're amazing and you should definitely want to read them. But there is also videos. So if you would rather listen to it, these are the videos from last year. So every lecture is going to have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday video. So by the Friday, I have now talked about the same thing 3 times. So I'm real good on Fridays. There's no book, but you still are expected to skim/read these materials. There's a lot of links in here. So find some links. That take you to very specific things. If it loads, who knows. So this one, for example, is about how much does it cost a company to hire you, right? So this is to give you some perspective about the company side. Some additional things. We've got additional things. Searching links. I've also created or just gotten links for different job searches that students commonly want to do. So there's 3 main sites that people look for jobs on. If you haven't used any of them, they're Glassdoor, Indeed, and just a straight up Google search. So I've, in this particular example, made the link for you, which will take you and show you all of the GIS internship positions which are currently available. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about job searching and salaries and all that kind of stuff. So your second question, what I asked before, how many words, or how many pages is 2,000 words? How many work hours are there in a year? 40 hours a week times 50 weeks, that's 2 vacations, that's 2,000 work hours a year. So it's really easy to calculate from an hourly salary to a yearly salary and a yearly salary back to an hourly. So if you're making $20 an hour, how much is that for the year? 40,000, right? Because part of what you're going to be learning in this class is how to differentiate between jobs. So most of these sites will give you the salary range or the salary actual numbers. So it's good to be able to really quickly figure out which ones you're interested in or not interested in. All right, so we have all these different types of materials in here. So what we're going to be looking at is geospatial industry. So that's the first thing, like what sectors of the economy use geospatial technology, geography, or GIS. So some of those right off the bat would be like health and human services. A lot of people do GIS in there. Real estate, a lot of people do geography in there. But there's tons and tons and tons. Next thing we're going to go through is the types of jobs that you can get. So there's analyst positions, there's data science positions, there's surveying positions if you're more of a person who likes to go out to the field and take measurements or talk to people. So we're going to go through what are the most common types of jobs and how are they similar, how are they different. In my opinion, what kind of person or what kind of interests would be a good fit for that particular position. Then we're going to go through the different types of organizations. So there's The federal government, state government, local government, those are all government positions. There's private companies, which are non-publicly traded companies, and there's publicly traded companies, there's nonprofits, there's sole proprietorships, which would be if one of you were to start a business. So we're gonna go through sort of the pros and cons of working for each of those different types of organizations. Then we're going to talk about the job getting process. So from writing a resume to searching for jobs, applying for jobs, to phone interviewing, to in-person interviewing, and negotiations. So if a job is offered to you, what can you negotiate for? What shouldn't you negotiate for? So hopefully you're getting the sense here that this is the job getting class. Everything that we're going to be talking about is to get your resume looking real good, and then get you prepared for internships while you're a student. So you get, however many semesters of internships that you can, so that way you look the best out of everybody graduating when you graduate and send your resume around. Then we're going to talk about the different outside the classroom activities which can make you look real good. In my opinion, if you're not going to graduate school, the best thing you can do is get as many internships as possible. If you do want to go to graduate school, doing undergraduate research is the most important thing you can do. So then we're going to talk about graduate school, what it is, where you can go, how to apply, what makes you stand out if you do want to apply, all that kind of stuff. And then everybody's favorite, public speaking and networking. So this is just some basics, some tricks that I've learned. And then some of the classes we're going to just do resume reviews. Because the most important thing that you can get out of this class is a solid resume. And we're going to do all of that in advance of GIS Day. So anybody heard of GIS Day before? Nope. Okay. So GIS Day is like an international event in the third week of November that occurs every year. So it's traditionally the Wednesday of the third week of November. We've been running, or I have personally been running GIS Day at Texas A&M since 2012. So this will be its 9th year. It's 3 days long. Last year we had 1,000 people participate, like 27 employers. So it's a really good chance for you to get in front of employers and mingle and meet and show them your resume. There's career fair, there's networking events, all kinds of stuff. So I try to get your resume looking real good before that. So that way you have a good looking resume to take to GIS Day for when all these employers are meeting with people. So that week of November 15th, there won't be any class. So your class that week will be go to GIS Day stuff. Yep.
So it's a 3-day thing?
It is 3 days, yeah. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And its website is txgisday.org or gisday.com.edu. So we got a jamming website about it. You can see what happened last year. There's a lot of sessions, there's keynotes, there's like introductory short courses. Like some of you may want to get your hands dirty in some Python just so you can say on your resume, I'm familiar with Python, or you may want to work with FME or some other kind of tools that jobs are looking for. So there's a lot of those types of workshops. And then there's opportunities to win money for you all. So being students, I assume you like money and want some. So there's a variety of competitions. In past years, we have done, there's prior ones. We have done walk around campus, take pictures of every sign you can see. Because you would think at Texas A&M, the university architect would know where all of the signs are and like what they say. You would be wrong. So there, you may have noticed some rebranding of the signs, like on Gazelle right here. It was like a fancy looking one. So in 2019, the challenge was walk around, take pictures of signs, get GPS coordinates. You get the most, you win stuff. So the prizes are usually like a drone, they're like $500 or something like that. You would think that Texas A&M knows where all the flooding spots are and like where all the manhole covers are. You would again be wrong. You would think we know where all of the sidewalks that have steps are and ramps in case you have a mobility impairment of some kind. You would be wrong again. So maybe you're getting a sense here that it's usually campus data collection. So you can win money for that. You can give a research presentation. So if you're doing a class project, which you think is cool, where you're doing research with a professor, you can present that, win money. Or if you just want to take whatever class project you work on, turn it into a poster, we got that too. So lots of opportunities for you to win money or toys. And most importantly, for you to get in front of employers who are currently looking to hire. And let's see, the types of people who come are kind of heavy in oil and gas. Is anybody interested in working in oil and gas? The rest of you don't want to wake up every day and murder the planet. I understand. Totally understand. I'm conflicted about it myself. But ConocoPhillips, obviously oil and gas company, they come specifically to GIS Day to hire interns. And many of these other ones do as well. So Esri comes, which is a big geospatial company. 40Geo is run by an Aggie. Tessellations hires lots of people, right? So we get, this is not all of the employers that came, these are just the employers that gave money. So we get a lot of employers coming and looking for you. So one of the things that we're going to do, where's the resume? So we will take your resume and we will put it into this. Do the results. Take your resume, put it into this giant list, and every employer who comes will get a copy of your resume. Right, so this is like fire and forget, like send out your resume broadcast style. But this is just the first step. So hopefully you go to their booths or their info sessions, you ask interesting questions. You have professors who say, yep, she's good, you want to talk to her. And then you follow up with them, build a relationship. So everyone who comes, all the employers are usually former students working at these companies. So they have sat like in your exact seat a couple of years ago. So this is a big part of what I do in the fall semester, what the department does in the fall semester, like getting all these employers to come, getting your resume hooked up, getting you connected with these potential employers, because we want you to get rich so you can donate to the Department of Geography. Yeah, so in the syllabus, there's links to all of these things. Last couple things we're going to talk about are professional and scientific writing. But what are the different kinds of things you're going to have to write, from emails to budgets to proposals, things like that. So on the calendar here, there's links to each of the actual assignments. So they're organized by speaking assignments versus writing assignments. So your first one will occur in week 4. And if we look at this, for example, you are going to just very quickly, in no more than 5 minutes, because I have to watch all of these, no more than 5 minutes, they're going to discuss after the lecture of what is a private company, what is a public organization, which one of those do you think is most interesting to you? Just talking to your phone, hit record, upload it to anywhere you can find to put a video online. So this is basically a did you or did you not do it type assignment, because I can't really criticize you for wanting to work for like the CDC or NIH. This is just you speaking. So that's an example of a speaking assignment, writing assignment. First one is going to be first crack at your resume and cover letter. It's going to be trash. I know it. You know it. That's why you're in this class. So I'm going to give you feedback, how to make it better, all that kind of stuff. Next one is your career plan, which is like when you first graduate, what do you want to do for the first 3 years? After that, what do you want to do for the next 5 years? And then after that, what do you want to do for the next 5 years or 20 years? So a lot of you probably haven't thought that far ahead, like when do you want to retire? Anybody thought about that? Nope. Nope. One, all right, good. So during this part, we're gonna go through the retirement calculator. Like, if you want to retire at 50 and you plan to live until you're like 80, how much money do you actually need? So it's just kind of eye-opening to see. And if you start saving like $100 a month now, how much will that add up to? Right, so it's for many people, it's the first time that they've thought about this, but it matters for your career plan. Like, how many boats do you need in order for you to be happy? If that number is 0, you have a very different lifestyle than a person where that number is like 2, because they need a motorboat and a sailboat. Okay, and then you're gonna do final resume later in the semester. And then, so you got 3 speaking assignments. We're missing one here. I don't know where that one went, but there's a third one in there because you got to speak for 15 minutes. And then you got 3 writing assignments. We can take a peek at one of these activities. This is what they look like. What's your name? How likely are you to attend graduate school? What type of thing you're gonna do in graduate school? And what are 3 reasons that you want to? Right, so these, hopefully you can see, are not difficult. We do them before class, so that way I can like look at the results real fast. And if everybody in here wants to go to graduate school, that's a very different lecture than if everybody in here definitely does not want to go to graduate school. So, are you in agreement that this should be a not hard class? Okay, good. I can't tell you about your other classes, but this one is designed for everyone to get an A. It's only 1 credit. Come on. Okay. Let's see. COVID-19 is a thing you may have heard of. I'm vaccinated. Know or want to know if you are. My personal opinion is you should get vaccinated. I have 2 small kids at home who can't get vaccinated. So I would prefer not to get the virus, but I suspect that if I'm gonna get it, it's gonna come from kindergarten. I'm very much willing to bet that. We are not allowed to make you wear masks. I personally wear a mask because I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get you sick. You want to wear a mask? Good luck at the hospital. I'm sure you'll be fine. Let's see, what else we got here? These are just regular standard university policies. So attendance, you should come to class. You're paying for this. How much does 1 credit cost these days? Like $435 or something. Ish. So you guys are paying for this. Like, if you don't want to show up, like, I don't give a shit. But I recommend coming because you're paying for this performance. Let's see. Makeup work. If you have a good reason for not being here, or like a university excuse, whatever, you'll get additional however long it takes for you to make it up. Let's see. IVs don't lie, cheat, or steal. If you find yourself thinking that you need to cheat in this class, you might want to reconsider your life choices. Because like you're gonna cheat on our resume. Granted, hold on, there are good reasons to do that, so let me show you. So let's look at, oh, it's not that. One of the things we're gonna do, if these links still work, because a lot of these people have graduated, is we're gonna look at other people's resumes. And we're gonna be like, yeah, I like that one. So what you do is you start from that one. You copy it, you change the name. If you like the formatting, if it's got good words on there. All of these student resumes are, as long as their Google accounts are still active, are available, right? So one of the things you can do to make a good resume is go look at other people's. And if you see one you like, you can cut and paste from there. So I don't consider this stealing, much like for cheating. I don't consider in programming class typing in the programming thing you need into Google, going to Stack Overflow, copy paste. That's just how people program. Let's see. If you have any sort of impairment or disability, I'm very accommodating. So feel free not to say anything right now. You probably have a form that you need me to fill out. In this class, everything's going to be recorded. So if you need additional time to review materials, it's going to be made available online via a video. There's no fieldwork component, so if you have mobility impairment, that's not going to be a problem. It's only words. Doesn't appear that anyone in here has a serious visual impairment, but if you did, you would be able to listen to the lecture as well. And all the material is in a screen reader compatible format. So if you had a need to listen to it instead of read it, screen readers should work. Let's see, Title IX is, if you tell me about harassment or discrimination, I'm required by law to tell my boss. So if I hear about something, like I don't have a choice, like I get in big trouble. If I hear about sexual misconduct or discrimination and I don't tell somebody. So feel free to come and talk to me. I think I have empathy and am a good listener. But just know that it's mandatory that I report it to the university. It's also pretty sure mandatory for you all to report it if you hear about something as well. So do not be an asshole. It's a good rule for life. Mental health and wellness. Let's see. Anybody felt a little anxious this last year and a half? Nah? The last year you were like, this is totally normal. Totally normal. Texas shut down. I was expecting this. So this is an extremely challenging time for most normal humans. I have anxiety problems. I take medication for it. So I 100% understand if you are struggling. Everybody, people who have graduated from college will tell you, oh, so you have it so easy right now. Sleep in, do whatever you want. Why are you stressed out? That's bullshit. This is extremely stressful time of your life. If you got to get good grades, if you want to get a good job, you got to have jobs lined up. Otherwise, everyone in your life is going to be asking you questions like, when are you getting a job? You have an internship? Where are you going to move when you graduate? You have exams, you have projects. If you're a procrastinator like I am, the anxiety gets more and more and more and more as the semester moves along because you have a whole bunch of shit you didn't do. So if you need to talk to somebody, you can talk to me. If you're not comfortable talking to me, A&M has a lot of resources available with people who are actually trained rather than amateur like I am. So that's your semester. Does anybody have any questions? You guys excited? What other classes are we taking? Anybody taking 390? 232 with the cartography?
Yeah.
Okay. What else are we taking?
330. It's resources.
Okay. I don't know anything about that one. 232 is gonna be, have you ever used mapping software before? Yeah, okay, well, you're gonna nail it then. One thing to keep in mind, like right from the start, is everything you do in these classes is experience. So for example, when you start writing your resume, you're gonna think to yourself, I don't have anything to put on here related to this field that I'm gonna get into. Not true. So if you're in 232, by the end of the semester, you will have done this many projects. Right, so I've gone through the most common courses that people take with this one, and then for each of the assignments, wrote it in like resume language. So when you get to the end of the semester, or when you start applying for internships, you have done stuff. You just didn't know it. And you should keep everything. So make a Google Drive somewhere, like year 2021 fall, and then just drop your materials into there, because people are always gonna wanna see examples of your maps or whatever you've done. And if you don't store it like in an organized way right away, you're never gonna find it again. Your computer's gonna have crashed, the hard drive's gonna have gotten lost. So just keep everything. If we don't start doing it now, then you're gonna miss like having all these artifacts that you've produced, the cool looking maps or interesting analysis. Okay. All right. So what do we have, 10 minutes, 20 people, so 30 seconds apiece. What is your name? What's something interesting? So I'm Dan Goldberg. Something interesting is I have a filthy fucking mouth. If you hear adult words in here, like you're just gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, the only person who has a dirtier mouth than me is my little sister. So I apologize if I offend your delicate Texas sensibilities, but in New Jersey, where I'm from, this is just how people talk.
Where are you from in New Jersey?
The center, Somerset County, like Greenbrook, close to New Brunswick. You know New Jersey?
My family's from Whitehill.
Oh, okay. All right, start with you. Name, something interesting.
My name is Leonard Diaz, and I recently got a new pet cat.
I got a new dog recently.
My name's Margaret Canamore and I just had a baby doodle.
I got a Newfie. If anybody knows that. Newfoundland, giant black furry, somewhere between 120 and 220 pounds, fully grown.
My name is Sarah Ann Myers. I speak 3 languages,
Oh shit, which ones?
Spanish and French. And English.
And
Obviously.
English.
Well, and I speak like Tig Latin, like
Oh.
that's not like a real language, but it's
All the pigs in my are now offended.
Hi, my name's Cameron Ho, and I'm actually transferring in from electrical engineering, I guess. Oh, and I have 2 Labradoodles.
With their dogs.
So my name is Bray Breedlove. Outside of this, I'm a firefighter EMT for the county, so I also have a dirty fucking mouth. My name is Connor Mixon. I've bowled more than one perfect 300 game in real life.
Huh.
My name is Dan Hudson and I'm a pilot.
Huh. You guys are far more interesting than me. Okay.
My name is Colin Moore. I recently broke my leg.
Still broken.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my
these
goodness.
guys.
Oh,
It's all good.
My name's David Tooley and I have younger twin sisters who were born on Christmas.
oh, those poor girls. Oh, birthdays are and Christmas together every year. That's the worst. Okay, and how about we start over here with Shoe Tire?
I'm Savannah. I went to 5 national parks this summer.
Oh.
So apparently that's my new thing. You like nature? No, I just like my boyfriend and I just took his Jeep and did a whole bunch of mountain passes in Colorado and then went pretty much national park hopping. So
Trying to remember where we were in Colorado. Aransas Pass, you guys are there? That is a steep hill. Do you go up it or down it?
Honestly, I don't remember because we did like 8 different ones while we were there, so.
Because going up it, your car's gonna explode, and going down it, your tires or your brakes are gonna be smoking.
I'm Emma and I play the violin.
Father.
I'm Cameron, I'm also a pilot. My name's Adam, and today's my birthday.
Oh!
Happy birthday!
Oh,
Let's
man.
just sing.
That sucks.
We'll come back to you.
My name is George and I have a little chihuahua named George.
Everybody-
Years.
Everybody's got dogs, man. I'm not a dog person, but now I'm a dog owner.
I'm Tyler and I'm a black belt. Shit. My name is Tyler Diamond and my roofer started working at 6:30 this morning.
What, your roofers?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
My name is James Shaw, I'm a first generation hack.
That's awesome.
My name's Krista Wade and I have a 6-month-old puppy, so if y'all's dogs aren't there yet, good luck.
This fucking thing is like
Oh my
14
God.
weeks old now, and all it does is follow me around and just bite my legs.
I have a husky golden retriever mix and he's loud. He started howling with the sirens that I live on Southwest Parkway, so the sirens go off. And he howls with them.
Great.
I'm Nick Townsend and I am a geospatial intelligence analyst for the Army.
Okay,
Oh my God.
fantastic. For the
You
Army.
don't even need to
So you're at
toss
the
it.
geospatial center, what is it, in like Reston? Or, oh, okay,
I work with Blue Corps.
awesome. So he can call bullshit on every single thing I
I
say.
know, during this class, though.
Because it's required now.
I know, it is a requirement.
I just can't wait till senior year when you get into like all the aerial photograph, because like that's 90% of my job.
Remote sensing is not my deal. But
Can you imagine
a lot of
just
people
like
do it.
waiting for
Alright, so what was your first name?
Adam.
Adam. So we're gonna sing happy birthday, Adam.
Alright. Oh, you should wait, turn her on, tell her to sing.
Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Adam. Happy birthday to you.
You're a really good singer for this though. Seems like carrying.
Alright, so there will be a short, extremely short survey for you to fill out before next class. You can even do it in class on your phone if you wish, as long as you do it. So do not stress about this class. This class is going to be hopefully a cakewalk for you. Any questions? Alright, see you. Underestimated.